Heading into the Sydney for the next of our isolation interviews, we're got leading jockey Tommy Berry with us to talk about the final day of the carnival, Tommy, and you've got PIERATA in the all-age stakes, so it could be a really fitting finale for you.
Yeah, definitely, and for the horse as well. Will obviously be his last time we probably seen before he goes to stud, and he's been very good for a number of years now. He's a strong colt who's proved himself at the top level for a number of seasons, and he comes to the races on the weekend with everything pretty much lining up. He's at the 1400, which he's almost got an impeccable record at, and I think getting back on top of the ground is obviously going to assist him well as well. So he should settle somewhere in the first half of the field, and obviously centre in a lane and bivouac are the two to beat. Centre in a lane, drawing one probably wasn't the gate they wanted to draw on him. He's going to get into a bit of an awkward spot, and hopefully we get a run on him before he gets out.
What did you make of his effort in the TJ Smith?
I thought it was great. Look, the winner just buggered it for a lot of us in that race because he's such a brilliant sprinter. He runs along at a high cruising speed, and he gets us all out of our comfort zone from the 700 metre to chase him. And by the time we get to him, then a lot of us were out of gas. So he runs 1,000 and 1,200 metre races like not many get run during the year, but that's why he's the best sprinter in Australia, maybe the world at this stage, and it's why he's very hard to catch. But it just didn't suit my bloke. But the 1,400 metres obviously suits him better. He'll be able to travel a bit closer, and he'll be able to hold him up for that one last sprint.
How does that race shape look without Nature Strip there?
Oh, a lot nicer. There'll still be good speed, I think. Dreamforce from the inside will press up. He's a Group 1 winner at his last start. And then for Seeker, is drawn wide with Cosmic Force, and there was one other as well, White Moss. So, look, there's still going to be plenty of pressure because a fair bit of that speed is out wide that's going to come across. But I'll be able to just track that speed, and it won't be anything like the TJ Smith, I don't believe. But I think my bloke's the 1,400 metre specialist, and he should be able to get the job done on the weekend, hopefully.
Another Group 1 ride for you in the Champagne Stakes with the GLENFIDDICH, who was sixth in that size produce last time out. Is there enough improvement in this horse to see him winning?
Yeah, I think the drawing track's going to be his biggest advantage. Adam Hieronymus and the connection said he wasn't very comfortable on top of the soft ground the other day. So we've had some really nice drawing days here in Sydney. So we should, I believe, probably get to a 5 or a 4. And that will definitely enhance his chances. And he's the horse who's had the win at the 1,500 at Morfettville 2 starts ago. So we know that the mile shouldn't pose too many problems there. And, we might be able to hopefully settle in the first 2 tomorrow and make it a bit more of a staying test. And I think that will suit my bloke perfectly and hopefully bring a couple of the others undone.
Okay, going to the Hallmark Stakes, the 8th of the card. You team up with GREYWORM here. Form's okay, just a tricky barrier draw for you, Tommy.
Yeah, I think it suits his horse quite well, though. A lot of his wins, he's drawn out wide. He's got very good speed, and it just gives you time to let him use that speed and come across instead of when you draw in close, you've really got to, label yourself urgent and ask your horse to be there early and then try and get him to switch off, where sometimes when you draw wide out of the 1,200 at Randwick, there's only one real corner there, and that's a home bend, so you can really take your time down out of that really nice long chute there and come across. And this horse, he's been very consistent the whole way through. He's obviously stepping up in grade once again, but he's got a really good record, and getting back on top of the ground I think will suit him as well. When he ran at Rosehill last start, it was a bottomless track, and it didn't suit many horses on the day.
Okay, other rides you've got Zadoro in the first. Outrageous is drawn out really wide in the second. Subpoenaed in the Car Stakes, and in the last race you've got Desert Lord. Of those, what's the pick of those, Tommy?
Probably Subpoenaed. I've always really liked her. We tried to get her out the staying trip. She was heading towards an Oaks. She just didn't really run the trip out at the 2,000, so she's been freshened up back to the 1,400. She's a filly that's got a lot of ability, so don't be surprised to see her bounce back. Outrageous, he's first up after a little bit of a break. Had a really good preparation last time in, and he's drawn wide, but once again, we'll just take our time to come across with him. There doesn't look to be a heap of speed there, so he should get a nice run. And Desert Lord, he's got the ability. He just turns up when he wants to, though, which isn't very often at the moment. But don't be surprised if he turns up in his best form he'll be very hard to beat, especially being back on top of the ground. He's been racing in Group 3 company, so he's coming back in grade, back on top of the ground. He should be hard to beat.
Yep, I really appreciate you going through those rides for us, Tommy. I know you missed last weekend through suspension, so I bet you're hungry for success tomorrow.
I'm always hungry. Can't wait. Cheers, mate.